And hello, and welcome into some more Steins. It's been a while since we last recorded some of this, and I apologize for the delay. I just couldn't really fit it into my schedule, really. Steins Gate, for anyone who doesn't know, is a science adventure style visual novel developed by Magi that came out in 2009, eventually got ported over to PC as well over here in Europe and released on Steam and stuff. It's part of the so-called science adventure series, is what I meant earlier, which is essentially a bunch of games that deal with both the supernatural and scientifically interesting, from cryptids and aliens and time travel to all sorts of other things. It's a series of a lot of very, very cool games, ranging from Chaos Head, Chaos apostrophe, semicolon, Head, Steins Gate, Robotics Node, Occultic 9, and more. In fact, I believe there's a new game coming out soon as well, so I'm looking forward to playing a bunch more visual novels here, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing me play those. Anyways, last time we checked out the prologue, which was that one hour-long video. From now on, the parts will be a bit shorter, and besides that, we'll just steadily get through the game and see how it goes. Last time, we got introduced to some of the main characters, Okarin, aka Okaba Rintaro, that's his actual name, and Hoen Kyoma, which is like his alias. We also saw Mayuri. We also got introduced to Makise Kurisu, who ended up getting stabbed. And after we texted that to our friend Daru, we seem to have gone back in time, which is truly peculiar. As such, we'll now head back into the game and see what that is about. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Let's see. The very first time I played it, I only played up until the end of the prologue, basically. So back in 2018, that was. But we ended up playing this. Playtime an hour? Is this our last save? I think so. We could also go with load. Maybe that's better. Ah, there we go. Save. Nice. Fantastic.
おい、
Hey.
そこの貴様。俺たちが見えているか
Hey you. Can you see us?
なぜ何も答えない。貴様に聞いているんだぞ。モニターのそっち側にいる貴様にだ。
Why won't you answer? I'm asking you a question. Yes, you on the other side of a monitor.
間抜け面をしよってつまらんやつだ。
Your silence only strengthens my hypothesis.
貴様からだと俺たちはテレビのモニターの中にいるように見えるだろうな。だがそれは大きな間違いだ。
I suppose that from your perspective, it appears that we are the ones inside the monitor. But that's where you're wrong.
モニターの中にいるのは貴様なのだよ。
For it's you who are inside.
貴様が現実だと思っているその世
Your
界は
reality is nothing but lies and
実はすべて
shadows.
虚構。
Naturally, that includes you too.
貴様自身もな。真の現実。それはこちら側にある。
True reality is on this side of the screen.
自分が何を指摘されているのかすら分かっていないか。無理もない。
Don't believe me? I don't blame you. Few are those who can handle the truth.
まあいい。貴様には分かりやすく、俺たちのことについて説明してやろうではないか。
No matter. I shall speak in simpler terms, easy enough for even you to understand.
まず、俺たちがいるのはどこかということだ。ここは東京。 秋葉原にある未来ガジェット研究所だ。俺たちは普段ラボと呼んでいる。世界の支配構造を作り変えるという我が野望の拠点だな。
This is the Future Gadget Laboratory, located in the Akihabara district of Tokyo. We call it simply the Lab. Our purpose is to shatter the system and plunge the world into chaos.
そうなんだ。悪いことしちゃダメなんだよ、オカリン。
Really? You shouldn't do bad things, Okarin.
まあ入りは少し黙っていろ。
Quite. I'm a mad scientist, remember?
駅から出たら中央通りを進み、末広町駅の交差点を蔵前橋通りへ左折。次の信号の一歩手前の路地を入ると、大檜山ビルという古臭い雑居ビルがある。その2階に我がラボは今日構えている。
From the station, head down to Chodori until you reach Soirocho Station. Suehirocho Station? Then take the left onto Kuramaebashi Dori. In the alley before the traffic light, you'll find the rundown Ohiyama building. The lab is on the second floor.
目印はビル1階にあるブラウン管工房というマニアックなテナントだな。
On the first floor is a store of ill repute called the Brown Tube Workshop. You can't miss it.
今時旧式のブラウン管テレビだけを扱っているショップだ。いかに電気街である秋葉原といえども需要があるとは思えない。寂れた店なのだ。
It deals exclusively in CRT monitors, of all things. Can you imagine? Even in the heart of Akihabara's electric town, the demand for CRTs is practically non-existent.
だが、ブラウン管工房店長である天王寺というおっさんは、このビルのオーナーでもある。
But the proprietor of the Brown Tube Workshop, Tenoji, is also the owner of a building.
ゆえに、今野球ピッチで都市開発が進み、しかも高騰しているこの秋葉原であろうと、道楽丸出しの店を構えていられるというわけだ。
That's how he can afford to maintain his ridiculously niche hobby shop, even as land value continues to rise.
幸いにもあの店長は、人を見る目はあるようでな。この俺のカリスマ性を見抜き、ビル2階を丸々ワンフロア、ただ同然で貸してくれたのだ。ふわっはっはっは。
May seem a rough sword, but he was no match for my charisma. Now the entire second floor is mine for next to nothing.
だが、未来ガジェット研究所は深刻な人材不足のため、優秀な研究員を随時募集中だ。今のところ、所属研究員は。
I digress. The Future Gadgets Laboratory is currently experiencing a severe shortage of manpower. We welcome dedicated scientists from all fields to apply. At present, our researchers are...
オカリン、オカリン。そこはラボメンって言わなきゃ。所属研究員じゃなくて。
Okarin, you gotta say lab mems, not researchers.
ラボメン、すなわちラボラトリーメンバーは、俺を含めて3人である。
Our lab mems, laboratory members, are free.
ラボメンナンバー001。ラボ創設者にして狂気のマッドサイエンティストであるこの俺、法院京馬。
I'm the founder of the Future Gadget Lab, lab mem number 001, the insane mad scientist, Owen Kilmer.
オカリンって呼び方の方が可愛いのに。
Okarin is cuter though.
そしてコスプレが趣味の高一点、ラボメンナンバー002、椎名真由里。
Next, we have our resident cosplayer and only female member, lab mem number 002, Sheena Mayuri.
てってるー、まゆしーです。着るんじゃなくて作るのが趣味だよ。
Call me Mayushi. I like making costumes more than wearing them.
最後に スーパーハカーラボメンナンバー003橋田至だ。
And last, we have our resident super hacker, Labmem number 003, Hashida Itaru.
スーパーハカーって呼ぶなよ。スーパーハッカーだろ、上皇。
Stop calling me that. It's super hacker. Duh.
そんな我々3人で構成される未来ガジェット研究所の活動内容はそのものズバリ発明である。
Here at the Future Gadget Laboratory, we devote ourselves to the art of invention.
詳細は我がラボのホームページを見てくれ。
For details, see our lab's homepage.
もちろん闇の支配権力と戦うための未来ガジェットが最優先事項だが、その研究から派生する副産物的な発明も多い。というか、今のところはそっちばかりだ。
Our top priority, of course, is to develop weapons for the war with the Dark Dominion, but that research has spawned a number of offshoot inventions. In fact, that's all it spawned.
すでに我々は8つの未来ガジェットを完成させた。だが、これはまだ序章でしかない。未来ガジェットのアイデアは俺の中に108まであるのだ。
Our arsenal of future gadgets is up to 8, but this is just the beginning. I have a total of 108 inventions to create.
某テニス漫画みたいにですね。わかります。
Like in that tennis manga, right? I get it.
人の煩悩の数といえ、このアットチャンネルのめ。
No, it's the number of earthly desires and mortals, you ad-channel junkie. Ad-channel being, I believe ad-channel was like a real thing that is, like, either it's referencing to, like, 4chan and, like, 2chan and all of that, or it's just a general term. Okay, I looked it up. It's @channel is the equivalent of @channel 2 or 2channel at like, well, what we would call 2chan, which was the predecessor of 4chan in a way. Anyways, Reddit, but worse.
それと、俺が話しているのだから口出しをするなと言っているだろ。
And I thought I told you not to interrupt me when I'm talking.
そもそもオカリン、さっきからなんで独り言喋ってんの？
Yeah, I wouldn't want to interrupt you talking to yourself.
独り言ではない。
I'm not talking to myself. Can you
俺は
see?
今、モニターの向こうにいるこいつに話しかけているのだ。
I'm talking to the person behind the monitor.
あ、今その人にやりって笑った。
Ah, he just grinned.
おのれ貴様、何を笑っているのか。モニターの中の存在のくせに。
What are you grinning about? Damn you. You don't even exist outside a monitor.
こっちみんなって言ってやれば？
Just say don't look at me.
通じないんじゃないかな。
I don't think that's gonna work.
俺たちに話しかけられていることにすら気づいていないらしいな。
It appears our attempts to
自覚がない
communicate
と
have
いうの
failed.
は
It's sad to
実
see
に
someone so
不幸なこと
deeply in
だ。
denial of reality.
その人にしてみたら、マユシーたちがゲームみたいに見えてるのかな。
Maybe they think we're in a game.
そいつには現実なのかゲームなのかっていう発想さえないんじゃね？
I doubt it's even occurred to them.
じゃあ、ダル君の大好きな二次元の女の子たちもそうなの？
But aren't your 2D girlfriends the same way?
それは別。あの子たちは僕の嫁だから。
That's different. Those girls are my wives.
誰の嫁の話はどうでもいい。
Nobody cares about your harem.
でもさ、マユシの言ったことって興味深いテーマじゃん？もし仮に僕たちがゲームの中の住人だとしたら、それを見極める術はあると思う？
But Mayushi touched upon a very interesting theme, you know? What if we're actually just characters in a game? Any way we can know for sure?
ないな。
No.
即答かよ。
Come on.
ゆえに、そのような議論は不毛。世界の支配構造を打ち砕く方法について考える方がよほど有意義だ。
Such questions are meaningless. Our time is better spent thinking of ways to destroy the system.
中二病、オツ。
Nice chunibyo, bro. Chunibyo being eighth grader symptom, I believe, literally. It's sort of delusions of grandeur is, I believe, the best way to describe it. It's something where a lot of children will think, particularly boys, will think that they're cool when they're acting like some sort of video game or anime character or other sort of figure, you know, be it science fiction, fantasy, historical dramas, etc. And they will pick up mannerisms and patterns and even change their vocabulary to fit that sort of stuff. Sometimes even their style and other factors, which stands out quite a lot considering that accessories are often not allowed in school in Japan. And so chunibyo, which is very cringe, is something that people call that sort of phenomenon. And it's something that isn't particular to Japan necessarily. It's not something that is like in anime, you can see it a lot as a trope that exists where people don't act like they should and are being cringy because they pretend, like they play pretend, but like all the time. But I do believe that something like that exists everywhere. Like when I was a kid, I liked Naruto a lot. So I had this like idea, like that was in elementary school, I think like first grade or second grade. I thought it was really cool to have like, oh, there's something inside me and blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. With like a dark side kind of thing, you know, like very, very edgy, very, very cringe in hindsight, obviously. But back then I really liked that a lot, and it brought me joy to play the role of such a character, I guess. Although I didn't like actually believe it or anything like that. So I guess I'm not sure if that sort of fanaticism is required for it to actually be called Shinibyu. But yeah. Anyways, in this case, it's an insult. I step back from a monitor. Display on the screen is the ugly, cute character Alpaca Man. Ugly cute is sort of a thing that we can see a lot in our culture, like online culture, a lot on social media. There's a lot of characters a lot of time in shows and games, but also just illustrations in general, I guess, and mascots, etc., that go kind of viral for a time, particularly amongst teens and young adults, that are cute in the way that pugs are cute. By being ugly. It's like, oh, something that is very, very ugly gets, sort of has an appeal all of a sudden because of how ugly it is. But it's something that you see in Japan a lot more. And there's like always some sort of fad going on with new mascots, new plushies, new anything and everything. Including quite recently, I believe there was like this whole thing that I believe Mother's Basement made a video on as well on the Basement Live channel. I don't remember. Hold up. I'm not sure from when that video is, by the way, either. But Chikaba. Which is literally just means like cute animal. Yeah, the video was from yesterday at the time of recording this. It's like just a cute thing, essentially. Small cute Chikawa. Anyhow, with all that said, Alpaca Man definitely fits that. It's like a man-faced alpaca. Alpacas are cute, but this one's fucking ugly. And as such, this one's ugly cute. There's a game called Alpaca Man 2, where you can speak to Alpaca Man via microphone and watch him react. The game exploded in popularity when it was released 10 years ago, but personally, I find only the ugly part of the ugly cute to be true. I bought it yesterday, 500 yen used, headset included. I turned to Darrow with a menacing glare.
黙れスーパーハカー。俺は中二病ではない。
Shut it, hacker! I'm no Chunibyo patient. I sweep my hair back and flash a devilish grin.
ほーい。今日まだ
I am Oin Kyoma.
そういう設定っしょ。
That's your character's name, right?
やれやれ。誰の人とのコミュニケーションの取れなさはどれだけ経っても治らないな。
Your communication skills are beyond repair. Oh no, I don't want to cancel. Wait, can I? There was like a menu button.
アニメのオフ会じゃ僕がいつも場を盛り上げてるっつうの。
I'll have you know, I go to tons of offline meets, and I'm always the life of a party. This fat, bespectacled guy is my brother in arms and right-hand man, Hashira Itaru, nickname Daru. Which they, I believe, get by taking the Da in Hashira and Ru in Itaru. He's a hardcore otaku, being a very hardcore fan of something, but derogative. It's a derogative term for someone who's obsessed over a specific thing, typically anime and video games, but a lot of times you can also see the term being used for other things like Gundam models or, I don't know, like fashion otaku, theoretically would be a thing. K-pop otaku, stuff like that is something that you can see the term being used in. It's not, like over here, in Germany at least, the term otaku has taken more of a descriptive note. It's less of an insult and it's more so just a descriptor of someone who is really, really passionate or into anime and video games. Much in the way as like how geek and nerd used to be insults, but nowadays almost exclusively get used as just a descriptive thing that people even take pride in. You know, nerd culture is really, really cool, and stuff like D&D and whatnot is now almost mainstream. Video games have become sort of mainstream as well, especially during the pandemic with stuff like Animal Crossing and the Switch release and all of that, you know? With all that said, otaku is very much still a pejorative term over in Japan. An insult, you know? Something to be ashamed of, kind of. But some people do take pride in it. Over here, people very much do use it as like a descriptor rather than an insult. Although people also have tried to do the same with a weeb. A weeaboo being someone who tries to act like a wannabe Japanese. Someone who tries to act like a Japanese person and encompass like, but only really knows Japan through the lens of anime rather than actual like education and learning about Japan in that way, you know? The type of people who have tattoos and the like of phrases or whatever without really understanding them, or the type of person who adds Japanese words into their sentences randomly at will, even though they're speaking a different language like German or English. There's a lot of people like that over here, and I want to say that the way otaku is used over there is similar to how we call weeaboos and weebs, you know, or how nerd and geek was used a while back. Anyways, you could always find him in front of a computer playing games and watching anime. He has 2D wives on whom he cheats with 3D maids. I don't agree with his preferences, but to him anything's fine as long as it's Moa. Moa being like this cutesy thing, 2D wives being 2D characters, as in fictional characters in games and anime and media of any kind who he declares are his wives, his favorites of sorts, but he has more of a bond with them. And when they say 3D, they mean not as in a 3D character in a game or something, but more so real life people. And maids in this context refers to maid cafes, like people who work at these cafes where everyone's dressed as a maid and you get treated as an esteemed guest of sorts. I don't have to explain this, but I like explaining. He's the reliable and skilled partner who brings my ideas to fruition. Despite his insistence that software is his forte, he shows remarkable aptitude with hardware as well. He knows what turns his software into hardware. I guess. Oh, that was terrible. Why did I say that? Ow, the needle bit my finger. Over here, nursing a pricked finger, we have Shina Mayuri, a 16-year-old high school student, if you can believe it. I've known her since we were both small. She's also an otaku, nowhere near Daru's level though. This ditzy girl is in charge of the lab's official costume division for women, and today she's working on costumes at her usual leisurely pace. Why does the Future Gadget Laboratory need costumes for women? It doesn't. The truth is that Mayuri is completely useless. Still, there's no way I could ever kick her out. After all, she was the first one to join the Future Gadget Laboratory. I still remember the day Mayuri first came to the lab. It was spring. She said to me, flashback. Mayushi is Okarin's hostage. I belong here. What the hell? Well, that certainly was cryptic, but her offer was my salvation, for she was the first to join me on my magnificent quest. She saved me from solitary life on the run from the organization. I will never forget her kindness. Mayuri doesn't have to be useful. Her being here is enough. She's enough.
で、オカリン、アルパカマンは反応したん?
So did Alpaca Man say anything?
いや、全然。
Nope, nothing. The human face alpaca inside the monitor was completely unresponsive. So unresponsive you'd think the game was bugged. Whatever, I give up. Never again will I play this boring game.
この不愛想アルパカめが。
Damn antisocial alpaca. I curse his name and smack the TV. As soon as I do... The TV makes a sound like it's shorted, and then the screen goes blank. I change the channel. Nothing. Check the power cable. Nothing. Whack it again. Nothing. I guess it's broken. Damn. This chroma TV is on lease from the Brown Tube workshop downstairs. It's probably just old. You made Mr. Alpaca angry.
後で修理できるか聞きに行かなければ。
Damn, I'll have to get it repaired later. I turn off the TV and lie down on the couch. I'm fed up with the humidity of Japanese summers. I stare at a conspicuous stain on the ceiling while fanning myself. I close my eyes. What naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago.
消えた。
They're gone. Right, this is something we saw last time as well. After we sent the message, all of Akihabara was empty. And we seemed to have been whisked away into this scene. Empty streets in one of the busiest parts of Japan's, like, Tokyo. As I left Radikan, everyone vanished before my eyes. I can't explain it. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores gone, and the restaurants gone. Even the cars vanished, drivers and all. Well, there's a truck, it seems. It all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, It's over there's a truck as well. I'm just realizing. But I guess it means like all the cars that were inhabited. And those are just cars that are parked here. When usually the cars would be brimming with traffic. Suddenly an empty city spread before me. I could still hear the music from the stores, but those catchy melodies were the only sounds of life remaining. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I felt only a cold chill down my spine. I just stood there, breathless, until...
どうかした？
What's wrong? Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared. She was right there, looking at me with questioning eyes.
今人が消えたよな。
Everyone disappeared just now, right? Huh?
消えただろ。今目の前で。
You saw it too, right? Just now, before our very eyes. Panic took hold as the enormity of what had just happened struck me. Unable to control myself, I grabbed Mayuri by her slender shoulders and shook her.
マユリも見たか？見たよな。
Did you see it, Mayuri? You saw it, right? Mayuri's head flopped back and forth from my shaking.
見てない。
I didn't see anything.
見てない。
You didn't. I stopped shaking her and looked straight into her eyes. She returned my gaze with eyes clear as glass marbles.
見ていない。見ていないのか。だってついさっきまでここにはたくさんの人たちが歩いていたんだぞ。
You saw nothing? Nothing at all? There were people here a second ago, weren't there?
歩いてたかな。
There were?
それに店員まで消えている。こんなことはいくらなんでもありえない。
Even the store employees are gone. That's impossible by any measure.
それは仕方ないと思うよ。
Of course they are. Her reply didn't make any sense.
とにかくね、最初からこの辺には誰もいなかったよ。
It was like this when we got
そっ
here.
か、オカリンは幻を見てたんだね。
Oh, I know. You are seeing things, aren't you?
きっとこの暑さのせいだよ。トゥットゥルー。
I'm sure it's because of the heat. Tuturu. How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. Oh, that's mean. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I looked up at the bright blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. The scorching summer sun shone bright through the gaps between Akihabara's building. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radican, where I had been just a moment before. There was an enormous machine like some kind of satellite embedded in the roof of a building where, not 5 minutes before, I had found Maki Sakura's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Maki Sakura might still be in that dark, narrow passageway, cold, bloody, and alone. The thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was...
そもそもあの人工衛星は一体なんだ。
What the hell is that satellite doing there? Right before Dr. Nakabashi's presentation, the building shook like a bomb had exploded. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it someone had placed a satellite-like machine, shrouded in smoke and glowing dust. When I first saw it, the satellite was on the rooftop, but that's not what I was seeing now. The satellite had penetrated the top floor of a building, obliterating the room when Dr. Nakabashi's press conference had been held. It must have fallen out of orbit without burning up at the atmosphere somehow. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation could there be? The real question was, when did that happen?
マユリ、あの人工衛星だが。
Mayuri, about that satellite.
びっくりしたね。
What a surprise, huh?
びっくりしただと。
What do you mean?
何がびっくりしたのだ。
What was a surprise?
ドカーンってすっごい音がしたもん。
It made a huge kaplow sound. A huge kaplow? It certainly did make a sound, but I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more like zoom.
あの人工衛星は落ちてきたのか
Did that satellite fall out of the sky?
来たのかな
Did it?
宇宙人さん
Do you think any aliens were on board? I lost my mind. What I had seen didn't match at all with with what Mayuri was saying. Suddenly, nothing seemed real. Had I dreamed it all?
そこの君たち
Hey, you too. Just then, a uniformed policeman ran up to us, his expression stern.
ここで何をやっているんだここらは今立ち入り禁止だすぐに出て行きなさい
What do you think you're doing here? This area is off limits. You have to leave.
ごめんなさい
We're sorry.
それより制服警官さん仮にあなたを警官 A と名付けるが一つ聞きたいことがあるんです
First, my good man, let's call you Officer A. I have one question.
警官 A って
Officer A?
今ここで数千人の
Thousands of people just vanished.
あなたも見ましたよね
You saw it too, didn't you?
見ていないいいから早く出て行け
What are you talking about? Get out of here. I was quickly losing confidence in my own memories. I decided to tell him about Makizukurisu and get him to call an ambulance, but before I could...
さっきから何をバカなことばかり言っているんだ
Look, I don't have time for your nonsense. The policeman took me by the upper arm and said, No one got stabbed at Radikan. What? How could he say that with such certainty? While I was still trying to comprehend the situation, the policeman forcefully led us away. We were escorted up to UPX and released. There were people at UPX like usual. Actually, there were far more people than usual. The place was packed. Okay, I don't know what UPX is. I can't find it. Seems to be a company. I don't know. Maybe Japan? No idea. I can't find it. Oh well, it's fine. Just as Officer had said, Chuodori had been blockaded by police, so nobody could enter. There was nothing we could do, so we headed back to the lab. And that brings us to the present. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabachi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radikan. All of the major stations in Tokyo, even TO TV, are running special bulletins about it. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone was hurt, but Chuodori is still closed off. Akihabara station is jammed with reporters and curious onlookers. Nobody's mentioned anything about the disappearance of thousands of people from Akiba streets, nor about Makisukurisu's murder. It's all a mystery. A mystery.
そうか
I see.
そういうことか
So that's it. From the sofa, I spring to my feet, a wide grin on my face. Therein Mayuri turn and stare.
これもすべて機関の隠蔽工作ということだな警察にすら圧力をかけられるということはこの国の中枢ももはや奴らの手の内にあるということなんということだ
This is all an elaborate cover-up by the organization. Their influence has corrupted local law enforcement, which means our entire government may already be under their control. My God.
だが
But they underestimated me, for I am not so easily
いつ
played.
か必ず奴らの所業を暴きその支配構造に終止符を打ってやる
One day, I will expose their deeds and put an end to their reign. Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favorite soda, from the fridge. And on that note, with Dr. Pepper mentioned, based game, I'm going to have to call it here. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll continue and see what actually happened next time, whenever that is. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you have any feedback as to how I should do this, like, should I let them speak first and then voice it? Should I not voice it at all? Should I mute their voices and then talk myself? I don't know. I would rather not do the later thing because it's a shame because the voice acting is so fucking good. But, you know, that said, I had a great time today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves as well. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you around. Until next time. Bye bye.